I'm out of storage space, so this won't be recorded. Okay, well, I guess we can't go crazy. We can't go crazy if it won't be recorded. How you guys doing tonight? Welcome to Heather's stream. I got a wall next to me here now. I can't flail my arms like I used to. I can flail over here and not over there. Hope you guys are all doing great tonight. I'm trying to figure out how I had this set up before. I guess over here. Sure, that's fine. So it's Friday again. Heather gave us the most content that she's given us in a while. Actually, she's done an hour and a half of content. She's the last couple of weeks only given us a half hour, not even enough to really do like a weekly recap video on it. So I'm gonna do a monthly recap now since we're at the end of this month, and I was kind of slacking for a few weeks there. But yeah, other than that, yeah, don't be worried about me being late because I'm always late. I'll always be here. I'm just a little late all the time. Yes, it's Friday again. I hope you guys are all doing well. Hello, Mud Pit. Mud Pit, we're gonna have Mondays be the movie night now. They are choosing to wait. Yeah, hell yeah, they're choosing to wait. Angela, how you doing? Megan, my love. We got Teresa. We got Janine. I think I said that right. Janine, Tina Marie, Colleen. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic night. BCG. Hope you're doing great. Serenity Now. Thank you for becoming a member. Great to see you. And Kat Johnson. I think Kat Johnson was should make add himself to a bingo card for how lady is. Hell yeah, I should. Hell fucking yeah. So yeah, I'll just get it. I'll get her pulled up here. We'll get her done. There's a lot to get through today. Not a lot of reading though, thank fucking God. But a lot of content, and we're in a new room. Look at that. No more spiders or chairs back there. Real guitars, not a ukulele. I gotta spruce that up a bit, but I hope you guys are digging the new place. And yeah, I'll just jump right into Lance.
So I'm using the Medela pump in style. Who has the handless breast pump? Anyone? I really like this one. Gets the job done quickly and efficiently, but I'm like always propping one bottle on my leg, which is very bad for my posture.
This is a hands-free thing where she just props it on her legs now and she can breastfeed. Is that why she's double pumping, double fisting her breast pumps now?
Do you guys like the hands-free one? Oh, good morning, you guys.
It does not affect me at all.
Guys, I woke up a little bit late today because I slept through my first pump, and I woke up at like 4 a.m. freaking out about the pump. So I pumped at like 4:30 to 5. It's definitely bringing my uterus back to pre-pregnancy size and shape. So I'm 4 weeks postpartum, and it's just flying by. I'm pumping a lot and getting things in order, going from a tent to being inside. It's a big change, so I'm very grateful for it.
Yeah, I imagine it's a good change though. Like you're finally out of fucking the tent that they were nefariously holding you in against your will, right? Like it wasn't your idea to go live in the tent. It wasn't Xavier's. You weren't the one being like, I don't know why Xavier doesn't like our way of living anymore in the tent. I can't understand it.
We're still looking for, the next step and our answers as to how this could have happened. But more so than anything, we're just grateful that it's not happening anymore. If you guys are new here, I'm going to kind of recap what's been going on over the last year later this afternoon in a makeup with. So if you guys want to tune in.
She's slowly going back to her old ways, like abrupt cutoffs, the not making any fucking sense. I think from what I heard and seen, I didn't hear a lot of adoption, surrogacy, ranting, or aligning with right-leaning content creators and just kind of parroting their stuff. I didn't personally see a lot of that. Hopefully we don't have to deal with that.
at 2 p.m. That's fantastic. I'm Heather Gillespie. I have GoPro Solo. I'm also applying for other jobs. I've never been homeless before in my life. Unless you count in like
the last 4 years, then yeah, I've been homeless a lot.
a few days in between apartments, like when I would break up from a relationship and be like, I'm leaving, and then the time it took to get into another apartment. But I pretty much like stayed with friends or family during those times. Since 2020, I've been going through it like a lot. COVID changed my life along with some domestic issues in 2020. I have 4 children. I just gave birth to my newborn son, Weston Gillespie, on February 19th.
She's still got the hospital band. I don't know if she goes to the hospital like on the right. Oh wait, no, that's like the band to keep her in the shelter, right? Like she uses that in the shelter.
I have a 10-year-old Alexis. I have a 15.
And busted lip. That's what I was meant to say. Her lip is still busted, but she's not outside in the tent anymore. Remember, she was like, "It's just because I'm outside in the tent, guys. That's why my lip is like this." But she's inside. Why is her lip still busted, Heather?
Year-old Lewis, and I have a 17-year-old Viviana. So I'm going to tell you guys all the tea at 2, and we'll see you then.
Yeah, the shelter ban.
And I have no idea what happened to my lip.
I am assuming that's Heather and Xavier laughing. They sound weird though. I don't know if there's someone else in the shelter laughing at us. Like,
okay, so do you guys see how much milk is being produced by the right breast versus the left breast? It's so weird.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think it's just like just going into one side, coming out the other? Is one clogged? She got a pop titty? I don't know. I don't know what's happening here.
I don't know what is going on. I'm producing like 6 ounces every pump, but like 4 of the ounces are coming from the right and only 2 from the left. Has anyone else had that problem? Also, you guys, we're going to be out signing autographs inside of the St. James.
What is with all these? This is a crazy outline thing.
Cathedral. I'm just kidding. We're not going to be signing autographs, but we're going to church tomorrow morning. So if you guys are in the Chicago area and you are into the whole pray and improve your life and do good things, we would love to meet you. Xavier and I will be attending Mass tomorrow morning at St. James Cathedral.
Which is probably coincidentally lines up with the NA meetings or the AA meetings. It looks like someone punched me in the lip. What the hell? I don't know. What the hell? So why Wyatt says one boob always produces more. If she actually breastfed her other kids, she would know that. I don't know that because like I don't have kids and I'm not a mom. So that's good. Thank you. Now I know.
So you guys, literally, I woke up with this. And I use Aquaphor.
Must be the ghost. Yeah, not poltergeist. Paranormal activity.
What is that? Okay, I'm doing tea at 12 instead of tea at 2. And I'm moving it to the GoPro Solo page because this page still has me not allowed to do lives. So meet me on the GoPro Solo page. Did you guys see my live on a GoPro Solo production just now? I just did like...
What do you mean men can breastfeed now? I've not heard of this. I don't think that's possible. Is this some... I should tread lightly. What is this? What is that about?
A 10 to 20 minute live there. And then for some reason, the connection was interrupted. Usually it's people who are less intelligent, who are trying to do something nefarious, who kind of interrupt the connection.
They're like less intelligent than Heather, but they can figure out how to hack her phone. She can't figure out how to like keep them out of there. I don't think any other influencer really has this problem but Heather, but you know, she's smarter than them guys.
So I hope to God that you guys were able to hear the message. If not, I will re-record it later, but I don't feel like doing it now. So if you have any questions or you'd like to put in any input or say anything of value, please feel free to use the DM. It is open. Thank you guys for asking. There's really nothing that I can ask for right now. Everything is the same. If you'd like to donate, you can do so via Google Pay or Cash App.
More shit in the shower. So like I can't tell you guys anything today, but donate. So feel free to donate still.
If I were to say to you guys, there's no capping allowed.
I need to run a poll. Do you guys know what no capping means? Do you guys know? I think you guys probably know, but I don't know if you guys know or not. Apparently Xavier thinks you guys don't know. But here, I'll play this out while I run the poll.
Do you know what that means? I say most people know what that means. I say most people know. Xavier says no one knows. So answer right here if you know what that means.
Run here so that more people can join. Give me just a few minutes, and thank you guys for tuning in.
All right, so I'm gonna jump ahead a bit here. Unless she talks to the background, I don't think she does. Or did I?
I'm gonna need it.
Did I cut this? No, I didn't. Obviously not. It's still here. Whoa, we were. Whoa, we were. Yeah, I agree, Kevin. Usually it's just no cap. It's not like capping. That's not really. yeah. The audio noises, I guess, were just wrinkling sound. I edit based off audio noises, so I don't know what's gonna happen when I come on live. Give me a second here. She must be talking here. What are we doing? What are we doing here, Heather?
$300 resumes.
Okay, well.
So I was an administrator at Northwestern Hospital.
Jesus jumping. There we go, guys.
For multiple physicians. And we started off, or they started off in the field, for me anyways, in the field of endocrinology, rheumatology, and primary care, so internal medicine. I did diabetic education for them. And I also did things that were considered clinical as well as administrative functions. What I mean by that is injections. So patients would need injections, vaccination.
What? She did injections for people? Or she just told like the nurses what to inject? What are we talking about here? But yeah, you guys, so like 80% of you guys so far say you know what no capping means. No cap is just like not lying, like no bullshit. Like I'm not lying, no cap. I'm serious, all right? That's what it means.
Blood draws, that's called phlebotomy. I worked in pretty much every capacity of a medical office. And that starts with vitaling. Well, in literal terms, it starts with checking in a patient. So you guys walk into your doctor's office and there's someone sitting in the front desk. I've sat in that position.
Nobody's normal from Twitter. How you doing? So she is at like a hotel shelter kind of thing right now. A hotel Coco Chanel thing. That's what I call it. But no, yeah, she's not in the tent anymore. If that's like the last time you've seen her.
I've sat in the position of office manager and everything in between, from the front end to the back end, other than the doctor. So I have done pretty much everything in a medical office that you can think of that makes the medical office run effectively and efficiently. And I'm very grateful for all of those years experience. I'm actually currently right now applying to 1,000,001 jobs, not literally, obviously. I average between 50 and 300 resumes that I send out a month. I'm looking for a remote position in medical billing and coding or coding. And I was also interested in looking for sponsors who will help me start up my own practice. I know there are a lot of physicians who have lost or been left out of collecting a lot of money for services that have already been rendered. And I would love to help you, go after that money. That doesn't mean you're going after.
Heather will help hunt down people who you might. Is that what? I don't know. Heather has a weird way of pitching herself to jobs. It's not the right way at all. No, I don't know who has her baby. I'm assuming a placement family. I can't imagine it's still in the NICU. Heather doesn't tell us anything anymore though because she has the gag order in court. So I don't know. It's anyone's guess.
Your patients, it means that you are adjusting your billing and your coding so that the insurance will cover it. And a lot of doctors don't have a lot of experience with that, especially in the days before most physicians were starting to work with corporations like Northwestern, Edwards, Presence, just to name a few. So in those larger capacities, there are billing departments who usually do a really good job. They're pretty much highly effective at knowing what to bill, how to bill it to get the maximum reimbursement. I personally am really great at doing so, mostly because of the experience I have in the clinical setting. But if you are a private physician, a plastic surgeon, or a dermatologist, it would be more of a learning curve, but I could definitely take it on. I'm used to more clinical, things, because when we're going after insurances for reimbursement.
She's still on this kick. So she came up with this while she was in the hospital. You can go after insurance companies for reimbursement on medical procedures or some shit. She made a whole LinkedIn post about it. And then I think Ed came in and was like, fuck you, Heather. I'm wise to your shit. Stop emailing me too. It might not have been Ed, actually. Someone like Ed, though. Maybe my memory's not shit. It might be.
Most of the time, unless it's as an effect of some sort of mistake during an original plastic surgery or a cancer or something of that nature, and you need reconstructive, the insurance will not cover it. So dermatology and plastic surgery is more elective, and insurance is not going to cover that much. But for all the rest of the doctors who are working in any other sort of specialty, gastroenterology, internal medicine, endocrinology, rheumatology, neurology, urology.
Just all the ologies, okay? Yeah, I know, Angela, right? Like, I think everything would have changed a while ago since she was last working there. What I'm getting from it is I think she wants to be like an attack dog to go out and try to like get money owed or something. I mean, I can't picture Heather doing that very well either.
What else? I said gastroenterology, neurology, endocrinology, rheumatology, internal medicine, urology. Yeah, and pretty much ENT, ear, nose, and throat doctors. If you guys are any of those physicians.
That's right. She is a capper. She's capping.
Or you are a sponsor, those are the types of physicians that I would be able to, get reimbursement from insurances. Those are all medical doctors that are not elective procedures for the most part. And as I said, especially in these smaller doctors' offices, they need help. The smaller doctors' offices need help. They're not getting reimbursed. And let me explain why. I have a lot of insight that you might not have. If you're a sponsor, this is for you.
Why does the sponsors need to know this? I thought they were just like trying to help a struggling mom out, right? Who just had the world kind of against her. That's her story. But okay, yeah, this is for the sponsors, guys. How are the fucking small practices not getting reimbursed by the insurance companies?
And then we'll get into my background apart from professionally. So about 15, maybe even closer to 20 years ago, we began to implement electronic medical records. And when we began to do so,
dude, I could literally picture her saying that to the insurance company. Have you ever been raped from behind? That's what you're doing to your clients every time you don't pay for an insurance thing over some fucking I don't know, minor detail like not crossing a T or dotting an I.
We gave people about 5 years total to get on board. And the United States government began fining.
Why the fuck did you walk away in the middle of the important speech, Heather? This is important information I'm missing now.
These people tremendously. So if you were a doctor and you had your own practice and you were not able to switch to an EMR, which stands for electronic medical record, or an EHR, electronic health record, the government started saying, well, maybe the private insurances will still pay you, but we're not going to. So, and they have their reasons. I'm not going to get into that. But for the doctors, it became incredibly difficult to keep up with their patient loads, to keep the lights on in these offices, to continue paying back their student loan debt if they had any, and to remain in the green, so to speak. This is why most of the corporations, Northwestern, Edwards, Presence, Rush, just to name a few, were able to acquire these physicians. No one really wants to go to the corporate world from their own private office because you make your rules, you make your schedule. In corporate, you have quotas. So it's very business-like. If you don't see a certain number of patients.
She couldn't keep a job for like longer than a couple months, right? And she got all this knowledge in that amount of time? Or is this the one job that she had for 4 years, supposedly? I don't believe it. Probably not. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's what she's doing right now. I mean, at least in the tent, it was like she was in a tent. So there's stuff going on. I want to see these taped up. I want to see writing on the wall. I want Frigesto to come back. I want all the great things in life. Alexis Phillips, thank you for the $5 super stick. I appreciate you.
You are either punished or let go or replaced or moved to a part-time basis without benefits or any number of things, in a lot of instances. So the doctors who could not keep up with the demand, they ended up, being forced into early retirement in a lot of these instances. Now, if you were able to hang on, and there are a certain number of them who have been able to hang on, who do need help, a lot of them are eye doctors. A lot of them, smaller eye doctors, and a lot of them have
smaller eye doctors. The little people who decided to be optometrists, the smaller eye doctors get bullied a lot by the insurance companies because they're like, what are they going to do about it? Honestly, what are they going to do about it?
Billing going back 10, 20 years ago, they're not going to get all of the reimbursement on that, but there is room and opportunity for reimbursement on a lot of the past 5 to, I believe, 7 years. It might be 6 though. And the way we would do that is just simply by reviewing their medical records. So you get the bill that's rejected, the patient gets a copy and the doctor gets a copy. And we make a contract with the doctor that basically says, we would like to represent your practice with regards to billing and coding. We'd like to remove it from the in-house setting. I can do it remote.
Ophthalma, what? Is that what it's called now? I thought it was just called an optometrist. I can't even say that. Your Highness knows what they are, though.
From wherever I am. And we basically have all of those rejected claims forwarded to me. And I would go over them. I would need access to the EMR. I would go into the patient's chart. It could be a read only. It needs to be a read only so that there is no risk of any changes being made to the chart. What then happens is I review the doctor's notes. I look at what was billed and I connect the dots. Okay,
how much of this is probably automated at this point? I don't know, especially during COVID times. Like, I'd imagine people are cutting back as much as they can. She thinks about her old jobs a lot. Maybe she should just go learn a new job.
This was not paid for because this diagnosis code is asthma, and you're billing an issue of the retina, so obviously the insurance is going to say nope and reject it automatically. Now, what happens with these doctors is they don't have time to look through these claims. When they don't have time to look through these claims, there are hundreds of thousands of dollars of reimbursement they are owed that are stacking up, and as time passes, they forfeit that money. So they would really benefit from a person like myself to provide a service where I can go through these claims. And there might already be an AI function for this. If there is, oh my God, what do I do for money? No, I'm just kidding.
Don't learn something else. Why are you still thinking about this? This is like an interesting look. You got 2 shots of her here. I like this. This is we can make this a picture. Well, I mean, that is my mouse is being weird.
But for real though, where you just go by the patient's diagnoses and match them to diagnosis codes that match the payout. And AI is going to have this all in their systems already because AI is EMR, right? So electronic medical record, that's AI integrations to electronic medical records. They translate throughout. They speak the same code, right? That's computer language for you. So it's really dynamic, but a lot of these doctors did not get paid. And what we can do is simply have those claims forwarded to us and match them with a diagnosis code and procedure code, CPT, ICD, that match each other for reimbursement. And it's a no risk type of situation because we're not asking for hourly rates for myself as the employee. We're asking for commission-based incentive only. So only when the doctor gets reimbursed would I be paid.
I think she is high. Like, why? Like, she's just about nonsense. It doesn't really matter. I think she's just like talking out all the highness.
And it would be a percentage. The reason I'm asking for sponsors is because I need some equipment that will make, for a safe environment for me to do this. I need a computer. It could even be a Chromebook, I think. I'm pretty sure Chromebooks are that advanced now that they can run these extensions and software.
James wanted a Chromebook to do OnlyFans on. I mean, like, at least this is a better reason to have it. Like, it's just go get a Chromebook. You get $700 a fucking month or whatever, right? Or no, 400 and then 300 in food stamps, and then all these your fucking sponsors and shit too, right? And there was something else on top. I was like, Heather's getting all this shit. She's still asking for money. Still.
And have open API integrations. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they can.
Wait, she went and hit the duster? I cut out the part where she went and hit the duster. I mean, maybe. I mean, can we hear her hitting duster? Is it in the beginning? I don't know. She did. I'll make that into a short if I can get that. I didn't know that was in there. She's on. Okay, because duster. I seen someone else in chat say that duster doesn't show up in a drug test, and I just assumed that to be true. Maybe I should fact check that, but yeah, this would maybe make a lot of sense.
And run EMRs and EHRs through a Chromebook. If I'm wrong on that, I know there are laptops in the comparable price range.
Well, I mean, like, if she is high, who the fuck gets high and talks about this kind of shit? Like, the most boring shit in the fucking planet.
As Chromebooks that can do it. So, the sponsor comes in where I need setup cost and some marketing would be great. But I do have doctor friends myself who I can email and let them know this is what I'm doing now. And they can tell, people that they know. So I do
if it is in the beginning, I'll go back to the beginning. I did cut out one part that in the audio, it looked like it was just silence. So I don't know if I actually cut it. Hopefully I didn't.
Have a leg in the door, so to speak, when it comes to this field, and specifically in the Chicago and Chicagoland area. I do also know some people who work for pharmaceutical and medical device sales who I can, share the word with, and they can tell other people respectively. The medical field is a big world, also very small. And I do have a very great reputation in the medical field. I don't have any issues there. I've never been reprimanded. I've never been asked to leave. I've never been accused of anything.
What about when you called what did she call the girl? She called her like the D word Amy. A derogatory name for a lesbian, I think, right? I can't say that anymore. That's what you guys told me last time I said that word. So, but I think you got in trouble at that particular job for that, unless it was another medical job that I'm misremembering.
Nefarious. So I have a stellar recommendation when it comes to the medical field. GoPro Solo was born after I left the medical field. I began working in the medical field in 2005, and I stayed there until 2015. And then I went back and forth a little bit. I did some work in 2016, and I did some consulting and just general advice after that. But my full-time employment was from 2005 to 2015 in the medical field, for the most part. So where did I start? It's a funny story. Actually, my first full-time job in the medical field was right after I finished First Institute, which was a course through the government for medical billing, coding, medical law and ethics, HIPAA, and all of these things. And it was a free course for young single moms that was subsidized through the government in Lombard, Illinois.
Kenny, she's going on about her medical experience in the field. You should know all about this. Doesn't this ring any bells? Does it make sense to you? Yeah, no, I'm gonna be happy when she's done this live. I mean, this is the only live she did. This is the only live she's done in like 3 weeks. It's pretty lackluster. It's pretty sad. Pretty fucking sad. I was gonna say something else. Oh, I was gonna say maybe I should do Duster and just get on YouTube and see what I end up fucking talking about. Maybe I look like her. She looks like Tali, kind of. I mean, like, you can see it.
Right. And I learned a lot there. It was a full-time, so I would be there, a full-time course. I would be there all day from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Then we would have homework, and we would, do a lot of studying during that time. But we learned all of the things that I needed to know to do administrative function. I then started college for nursing after taking a 9-month certified medical assisting and phlebotomy course. So then I was already a year into the medical field when I transferred to community college for another 2 years of studying when I transferred to AIU, American Intercontinental University, AIU, and that was where I started applying credits towards a 4-year degree. There have also been many other schools and, fitness certifications, nutrition and fitness through NCCPT, ISSA. NASM, I have completed all of the coursework for. I did not take the test. I did take tests for NCCPT as well as ISSA. So I have all 3 of the National Personal Training certification courses completed. I've read the books cover to cover. I've done all of the coursework. And it's pretty much the same thing. You don't have to memorize it because most of the time people are not asking you to give them a diagram of every muscle group, right? That's not what you need to practically apply lessons of personal training. You need to have access to the knowledge, and you need to have completed the knowledge if you advertise that you've completed the knowledge, and that's why someone is taking you as a trainer. But you can train legally in the United States without even having any of that. So I do have all of that, and that's my plan. So sponsor.
I wonder if like Xavier gets anxiety when he doesn't hear Heather rambling like constantly. Like I imagine this is all he hears all the time. So then when he doesn't hear this, like when she's asleep, that's when he gets anxious, and that's why he like goes and sits at the fucking door of the tent, and then she wakes up. She's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And then she's like, "Oh, okay, bitch," and I can fall back asleep again. Because I couldn't put up with this. It's just like no.
If you're here, that's where I'm trying to go with regards to business. I have a newborn son, and I have 3 big kids, 10, 15, and 17. I have been homeless for the past since 2020. I spent 2020 to 21 living in the backseat of my vehicle or Airbnbs. I spent 2021 to 22 living on people's couches, friends' houses, applying to jobs, driving DoorDash, working for LA Fitness, working for Export. All of these jobs were very short term and did not really lead to the career paths that I was, hoping for. The entire time I continued doing GoPro Solo, which is my own production company that I created from the humble beginnings of webcam performer. So
right, Ryan? It's like white noise in the background, like when people like sleep with a fan.
Somehow I went from being an administrator at a very prestigious hospital to being a webcam performer. And there's a backstory there for sure. I've written blog posts about it at Merciful Storm. You guys can read that. I'll link that on this video in the comments of this video or in the description of this video when I'm done.
Sure, it's a great story, just like every other story of an employee that went to go do cam work on the internet. Yeah.
But it was a period of tremendous darkness for me, a lot of darkness. And I'm not telling people what to do with their lives, but I am going to say that for me,
Heather, it was like 2 months ago. You were like, I was never with another person ever. I just did solo cam work, but not sexy time work. Even though that kind of contradicts what you said in the other that podcast with those people about the hamburger pussy, fucking weird shit. But even in then, you're like, I had bodyguards back then, and I was safe all the time. So what do you mean it was a dark fucking time in your life? Wouldn't it have just been easy money? You got to express yourself sexually. That's what we're talking about. I can never keep up with other stories. She switches it too much. Like right when you think, okay, I think I got her like story down, at least for the next couple of months, she fucking does this. She turns it.
Working on a webcam was actually not in a sexy capacity was not good.
Okay. Well, what were you doing on this webcam in a non-sexual capacity that was not good?
Just like, I mean, what do you think happens with most people who work in any sort of capacity that's sexual for a long period of time? You start being targeted, you start being degraded, you start to dislike yourself. And either you are forced into this world of darkness or you grip on to whoever you were before you started for dear life and run in the opposite direction. And that was what was going on for me. It was just not for me. I made a little bit of money doing it, and I enjoyed being self-employed. But GoPro Solo was the way that I could take my humble beginnings of cam girl into a much larger, region and purpose and vision for myself. Doing statement modeling. I don't know if you guys have seen the Kanye West photo shoot where he went to speak. I believe it was kids at Columbia College here.
Was this recently? I can't imagine anyone's paying Kanye West to speak anywhere nowadays. He's a fucking lunatic. But when was this?
In Chicago, Illinois. He went to speak to these kids and he wore a Hanes white shirt, white sweater, similar to the one I have on, but it was all white. And he hand wrote with a Sharpie, Kaepernick, referring to Colin Kaepernick. And at the time, if you're familiar with what was going on with the national anthem and Colin Kaepernick, Kanye was
okay, so it was around that time, like, I don't know, what was that, 2016? I might be wrong.
Showing support for that issue. He was also wearing a red and white MAGA hat, Make America Great Again, which at the time was heavily influenced by the president at the time, Donald Trump. And there was this huge outcry over it. It was on all of these social media platforms. It was getting all of this attention in hip hop news and just in general. I mean, I think WGN was talking about it like online. So there was a lot of mixed reaction to his fashion statement. And
to Kanye West dressing like Adam Sandler and supporting something that was being supported by a lot of celebrities at the time, that of course it made the news. It would be weird if it didn't make the news.
I, at the time, was doing GoPro Solo statement modeling, and I decided to recreate the outfit pantsless. And I was wearing, a one-piece kind of bodysuit.
I found an opportunity to look like a slut, guys. So I took it and ran with it, and it was really easy to recreate because like it's just a fucking sweatshirt with Sharpie marker on it.
But it was like a thong bodysuit, and I put fishnet stockings on, and I had, you know, a long wig, and I put the hat on, and I staged the wall behind me to be all of these other like demographics of groups of people, Habibi, a brick wall. I put handcuffs on, a bunch of a family of four, like this picture perfect, like family of four, a family on a yacht, some poor people, like all of these different cultures, demographics, race.
Where was this? How did she take like magazine cutouts and slap them on a wall or something? There was just a mural that had all of this on it. Did she take real people and put them behind her when she did this?
Says causes. I put them all behind me, and I put this outfit on, and I wrote
Little action figures like Indian in the cupboard, just like but everything Heather just described.
And I put the hat on, and I put the bodysuit on, and I took these photos in handcuffs. And the significance, as it's referred to as statement modeling, was number one, what it meant to me, but number two, what it meant to my audience. And at this time, Coco Chanel YSL had 50 or 60,000 followers, just on Instagram alone. So that's not including all of the platforms that I was actually camming on. But there were probably close to hundreds of thousands of people who were consuming my content at any given time during those years. And so I wanted to take being, you know.
Wasn't it weird that like the kid in Indian in the cover got paid in hair? Didn't he get paid in hair? I think so. And I was like, what the fuck kind of shit is that? And then someone, like kids jumped him for the hair and stole it or threw it all over the place. And he was like, that's like I was supposed to get paid with that hair or something. Am I misremembering that? That happened, right?
You know, sexy and do something with that following. I had people paying attention. Attention is the currency, as we all say. Now, what do I do with it? And so I started to transition GoPro Solo from a sexy platform where we're like, you know, shaking our butt and wearing thongs and no pants, to a more clothed platform that was speaking louder and more in your face about things that we found important. And by we, I mean my peer group, the internet, my children and their friends, my parents and their friends. So I, as a 29-year-old young woman, I have the very unique but not so unique perspective of not only seeing things through my own eyes, but getting that call from your dad that's like, Heather, what is this on the internet? What are you doing? And my dad barely even knows how to use the internet. So that's saying something. If it made it to him, it's reaching people, right? And also my children, who range in age from now being a newborn all the way to 17 years old. So there's so many generations, my grandmother, my sister, my mom, and there's so many generations that have perspective that I can listen to and I can learn from. And so I wanted to use GoPro Solo to make statements about the way we all are living and where the world is going from the perspective of these various eyes and these various audience demographics. And for me, that Kanye West photo shoot, the Donald Trump, Kanye West, sort of many vids, Cam Soda, it meant nothing to do with being sexy. It was the opposite.
Maybe that didn't happen actually in India in the cover. I can't find it. I thought I was going to be able to find a scene and show you guys the scene I was talking about. That might have been a dream, actually. You're right, Mudpit. I don't know.
It was like I'm in handcuffs here because I felt so oppressed. I felt like all of these girls working in this field can't get out and they're trapped there. And so they have no choice but to take their pants off and pose for a photo like this in order to get your attention. And Donald Trump and his Make America Great Again, and Colin Kaepernick and refusing the national anthem, and how far we've come as a country in positive and negative, right? We want equality in the sense that we all have opportunity and we can all live and grow and be happy and healthy, but we don't have that still. And we want opportunity for all, but we're trapping women, young women and young men into this identity of be sexual or get out, be sexual or don't receive payment. And I'm saying, fuck you, put your pants on. We can find another way. It's received a lot of blowback. There's been a lot of haters who make most of their money shaking butt. That's what they do. And I'm very spiritual and religious as well. And I always have been. I never lost connection to God when I was doing all of that. I just didn't pray. I didn't have time to nourish that relationship. My belief system never changed. I always knew it was wrong, but I felt trapped financially. I felt like I needed to be doing this to pay my bills, and there's a whole bunch of backstory. As I said, I'm writing a novel. I'm on page 457, handwritten, because every time I sit down to type it, someone alters the language. So I'm waiting on another sponsor to offer me a protected device so that I can complete this project.
No one's altering Heather's shit. She doesn't know how to use her equipment. This is BCG hooked me up with this is the photo shoot she's talking about. So this is her looking like Kanye West, with the hat and the shirt. She said she was in a thong. She's not pantless. She's in like a leotard, so that's good. There is just a bunch of magazine cutouts of shit. So it's not a mural. I thought she would be outside, not inside. Okay. There you go. That's what she's talking about. That's what she's talking about.
And if that's you, please find and contact me. I'm desperate to get this story completed. I've been working on it for 7 years now, maybe more. I also have written a thesis on post-traumatic stress disorder that I would love to publish. I have a lot of perspective to offer, and I would love to publish it in a formal setting. And I know that it can generate income, and I have a lot of ideas that can generate income. But GoPro Solo was never meant to generate income. GoPro Solo was meant to send a message. GoPro Solo was sent to funnel attention. GoPro Solo was meant to share perspective. And if you look at this page, this is just a small fraction of all of the photo shoots that I've been involved in, curated, and created and directed and produced. There are many, many more, but GoPro Solo is where I am collecting, the ideas, and where I'm using it as a think board, a think tank, a place for conversation and perspective, as I said, to see what the next steps are and to curate for my own, topics of conversation and what I think are important for my personal blog, which is One Heather G. Mercifulstorm.com is another page here on Instagram that I created in 2020. There's Do You.
I mean, I wonder what thesis this is, because she was doing a thesis about how THC use, marijuana use during a pregnancy is okay, it's totally fine or whatever. Even though I don't know if she doesn't have the resources to conduct a study like that. I mean, unless she was not using any drugs during her other pregnancies as a control thing, but I don't know. She doesn't know how to write a thesis. I don't know what she's going on about theses for all the time.
Doll. There is HLG Forever _ There is the number 1 Heather GEE. So that was my very, very first blog following.
And then it cuts out, it starts going. So let me see what timestamp we're at right now. 37 minutes. Okay. 37 minutes and 21 seconds. So I just want to hear her huff and duster at the beginning. So we might have to. Is it when she goes away? Runs away? Or. Ooh, I guess this is when she runs away, right?
Just a few minutes, and thank you guys for tuning in.
All right. Let's listen with our ears.
I'm gonna leave it.
You're leaving?
Okay.
That the one like that thing. That's all the way up, cat. It's all the way up. I'm sorry. Let me in case you guys didn't catch it, because it's kind of faint. I'll put it back. I think it was right here. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I heard it. I hear what you guys talking about. All right, Back to the Future, guys. Back to the Future. Give me a second here. Whoa, that's too far. We're at what, 37? 37:20? So I think we're at. That's
Following.
enough.
So if we're really counting, this makes, I don't even know how many accounts these people have blocked and tried.
So this is when she lost her account. So she lost her biggest account. It was her Coco Chanel YSL account. She renamed it to like her fucking Heather 1G or G1. I don't know. Something. But the account got deactivated, suspended. I don't know, for deceptive practices. And she's pissed because that was like her 16,000 follower account.
Tried to steal. They're trying to steal my story, my real life story, and like mass produce it without including me. It's fucking sick. I don't understand what the goal is. Is it your little tiny ego that needs to be stroked so that you could say you had a part of it? Or who wins by blocking my personal blog? Who wins by not allowing me to share my story? How
She yells at Xavier? Really? Like that. Like, ah!
How are you helping me in any way or yourself? And the answer is that you're not. You're not. You're stealing my intellectual property repeatedly, over and over and over again. And every time I'm about to go in front of a judge to present it, you delete it. You erase it.
The judge doesn't want anything to do with your social media. That's why I was like, just stop posting. Just stop posting about anything about this on social media. So I don't think the judge cares that I got taken down for deceptive practices.
So this is not my personal page. This is my...
All right, so just to catch everyone up, I spent February 15th, just 2 months following the preterm labor of the death of my twins at 18 weeks gestation age, from the 19th of February 2024, the birth of my son Weston, living in a tent, crying out for help, posting updates to my 15,000 followers daily, applying for jobs via LinkedIn, sending resumes in quantities of over 100 per month. But is that on Instagram? Because I don't really think you're going to find much work on Instagram. Walking with all of our belongings to the Portage Park / O'Hare area monthly, 60 plus miles round trip, my entire pregnancy until I began having contractions and my body threatened early labor at 28 weeks. But you did all that in this pregnancy and nothing, that didn't happen. More reading. Remain in constant contact with, oh, what? I think she means contact with CPD and 301, calling for help at least once a week until after approximately 10 requests. I was told we would not be accepted into the housing assistance until after the birth of the baby and instructed to call at that time. My third trimester was spent in a tent at Belmont Harbor Yacht Club. Prior to that 25-week pregnancy, we would take the tent down and move daily due to harassment and drug users, thieves, bullies, stealing, or attempting to attack us. I mean, you're evicted out of the tent now. They took away all your stuff.
35 weeks. February 15th is my due date.
Now, in addition to this social media, TikTok, OneHeatherGEE, HLG Forever _, MercifulStorm.com, I also have a 400 and 47-page novel that I've been writing in handwriting, because when I type it, someone hacks my device and nefariously inverts or rearranges my typing. So it's all handwritten. I also have planners for every single year since this has happened, with hundreds of receipts, photos of receipts, and uploads of receipts, where documenting all my whereabouts. What have I spent my money on? Where have I slept? In addition to that, I've had a bank account this entire time.
I think she's high on this one.
In addition to that, I have a link card through the state of Illinois. So there are numerous, many ways to track where I've been and what I've been doing. There is no reason legally, ethically, for this situation to be continuing. It's preposterous. I don't understand it. You guys think that shit is a joke that Cat Williams says? Watch that link. That shit is real. They're doing this shit to celebrities. I'm not even a celebrity. They did it to me. It is creepy and scary as fuck. Also,
yeah, so this is just like throwbacks to delusions.
They're driving me crazy, you guys. I'm trapped in this tent. They still have not given me an apartment. They have closed my case from shelter assistance 3 or 4 times. I finished the whole entire big thing of yarn. I'm making my baby a blanket. I'm 27 weeks pregnant. My insurance is refusing to allow me regular prenatal care, which is...
This is like the old chaos I'm used to. I miss it. I miss Heather in the tent.
It's a state-funded plan, Molina Health Insurance to the state of Illinois. I have been seeing a doctor, random doctors, but it's just whatever's going on here. It's unacceptable. It's absolutely unacceptable. And just to prove it to you guys, while I've been producing and creating all of this, I have been homeless this whole entire time. Look, here's a pic from 2021. Look.
So I woke up this morning and the personal blog, One Heather GEE, that I have been using, that I created for more than 2 years, have been documenting daily updates. I've never skipped a day, is deleted. And now I'm like breaking out in this huge hive. So
what's with the ripped shirt? Like, why is this a style, or is she just like trying to look more homeless?
Well, I just wanted to update, and I'm going to be going through all of my records. Usually if Instagram deactivates you, they give you a chance to download your content. So you can click download and you can get all of your content. They did not give me that opportunity, and I need that for legal reasons. So, and for reasons with regards to my children. So I'm submitting a help ticket to them and going through what I have in my other clouds and on my other social medias, but it is incredibly frustrating. And if you've been following since One Heather G through a GoPro Solo production, welcome. So this birth plan page was supposed to be translated into a fitness page, just a fitness page, and I was supposed to have my personal blog separate. I've been growing these Instagram accounts for many months. I put a lot of work and effort into them. I use them for a lot of various purposes. Some are for just documentation. Other purposes are for influencing, selling products, and just making a living for myself, obviously, is always the goal. So when I have this nefarious meddling in my brands and they close down an account that has 15,000 followers.
Nefarious meddling. Has she ever been able to support herself with any of these endeavors? Like, there's no way that the photo shoots bring in more money than she spends on them. And then what else is she like? What does Heather actually make off social media that isn't like through direct donations?
Associated with it, 15.6 is where I was at when they closed that account this morning. Not only does it throw me off course, it sets me back. So now the birth plan page, I need to move to a brand new page. I need to copy all of the content that I had here and put it back onto that page. And this will be a personal blog. And then I will create an additional fitness page. It's a lot of work and the money doesn't. But I put a lot of effort into those pages, into compiling my own personal life story and documenting the evolution of my life as I, want to do. This is my life, right? My body, my life, my children, my family, my experiences. And it's very daunting and intimidating and tiring to continue going through adversity, crazy adversity. I mean, very, very much abuse And just to get that on film once and document that once is exhausting. To have to continue going through that over and over, I mean, it's just
You don't need, no one's asking you to do that, no one's telling you to do that. The documentation of all these things isn't helping your case in any way, shape, or form. So why continue doing it? Like, why keep doing the same thing over and over again? It's not getting results. Like, maybe because she's in like a place now and not the tent, she thinks like she got results, but she literally like made up these lines in the sand herself. She's like, I will not accept shelter until I've had this fucking kid outside. That makes no fucking sense to me, bro. Because you don't have the kid now.
you know, it's insane. So, and the ROI on these accounts is not immediate. You know, the ROI on these accounts is only if you use these accounts for e-commerce or for advertising. So there is not a guaranteed ROI unless you use these accounts for that purpose, and they need to be built first. So it's time and money. And so then the reason I put all of the captions over my face now is because I don't want my content being used for impersonator accounts. That's not what it's for. So I put the captions over so that, you know, they can't use, or it's more difficult for them to use my accounts to impersonate or, you know, for any reason that's nefarious. That's not what I'm here. And so we are here until I either get a house or a sponsor, you know, donates an apartment or
a sponsor donates an apartment. Until a sponsor donates an apartment. Yeah, because that's a normal thing that just happens. That's how normal people get off of the streets. People just come in and donate a fucking apartment to them. Gotcha. Yeah, now ROI, the ROI on a social media account, bro, you shouldn't be putting any money into a social media account. I guess like whatever the device costs that you're using it on, it should be like the only investment, and then whatever comes out of it, you know, like, I don't know.
Condo or signs a contract with us, or the baby comes home and we move to a family shelter. And then we go into what they call permanent placement, and that is a 6-month stay, followed by housing assistance, which means they put you onto a Section 8 sort of program where they get you vouchers for your rent. Anyone who knows me knows that I've been working my entire life. Since I was 15 years old, I've had my own job.
Yeah, except for like the past 4 years and every time else. Well, I mean, I guess she was doing what, Grubhub or something at the time of this was maybe 2 years ago, maybe a year and a bit ago. Yeah, impersonate. Imagine like who would want to impersonate her other than for like parody, right? Imagine TD like actually impersonating Heather and being like, hey, can you take my keys away? Or fucking I don't know who would want to be Heather. Like, I'm gonna steal Heather's all the hate Heather gets, you know.
Movie theaters, restaurants, retail, medical. I went to college. I have more than 6 years of college experience, and tons of little trade schools, fitness, all sorts of things. So I will post my resume again on here. If anyone has a job, please let me know.
I didn't make it to the track again. What? But I tried every day. I did 3. Oh, wait. I did jog 3 out of the 7 days. So I'm not happy about that. But I'm aware that it's not my fault. And I'll pray for a better week next week. What the fuck is she talking about? The track? Like the dog track? The race track? The horse track? She has shoes. She was like, I need shoes. Just go running. Just go run. Get a hamster wheel. Human-sized hamster wheel. Run around on it.
I'm literally breaking out in a nervous hive all over my chest and here. So if you guys want to donate, the donation items that I need right now are gym shoes. My gym shoes are lacking in the sole, and my boots gave me a big, huge blister on my foot. Gym shoes. I don't have any pants at all. I have pairs of leggings and a pair of sweatpants. I was supposed to be using my funding after I had the baby. I used every penny I had on Weston: stroller, car seat, clothes, bottles, chupons, everything, blankets. I crocheted him a blanket and bought him 2 or 3 blankets. And I didn't buy myself any pants because I thought, well, I'll be losing weight after I have the baby. Now here I am, and I don't have any pants. So if you want to donate, you can
It's
do
our
so
fault.
via Cash
it's
App,
our response.
$ Heather GoPro Solo. I'll put it.
It's our responsibility to buy our pants, I guess. All right. That's how it goes in Netherland.
Right here.
That's gonna get me copyrighted. When the epidural kicks in after you suddenly go screaming and chill. I don't know why she's still posting stuff about like the labor and stuff and about the kid that she doesn't have. I don't know where the ball is. Blah 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 blah. I gotta keep pausing every like 2 seconds. That's the only way we can get around this without chat getting nuked. Okay, that should be fine.
Stressed out, you guys. It's 12:30. I'm pumping every 4 to 6 hours, about 4 to 6 ounces on average. And I've been doing this since February 23rd is the first day I started using the pump. I plan to breastfeed for the first year of Weston's life. So I have to keep pumping to keep my supply up, because if you don't keep your supply up, then it dries up. So if you try to go like more than 12 hours without pumping, the next time you pump, you'll get a decent amount.
Like, is she just worried? Like, does she just want to keep her breast big? Is that why? Is that why she's doing this? Like, the kid is fine without her breast milk. It's fine. It can take formula. Heather is like a tainted creature, you know?
But then like 2 or 4 hours later, you might be lucky to get a few ounces. So it's just something that I have to keep up with all throughout the night, and I have since he was born.
Why is it going faster now? What the hell's happening now? It's to lose weight? Does that actually make you lose weight?
So I just had a really great prayer. You know, I pray every day. The situation with my children and the unlawful issues with being thrown out of my own apartment, and all of the struggle I've gone through post-COVID, looking for resolution, specifically, you know, with my children and being a mother. And I read this, God's covenant with creation, Genesis verse 20, chapter 8, verse 20. Then Noah built an altar to the Lord and took of every clean animal and of every clean bird and offered burnt offerings on the altar. And the Lord smelled a soothing aroma. Then the Lord said in his heart, I will never again curse the ground for man's sake. And this is really like that Jesus said, repent, not repeat. That's the message. And there are so many messages in the Bible that go along with what is supposed to be happening. So
what do you mean with what's supposed to be happening? Like in life, in the world? What do you mean?
we're praying. Everyone have a great day.
Jehovah God, though.
I heard somewhere that when you sleep with the TV on or background noise, it's a trauma response. But I don't think it is, because I've been doing that since I was a little girl. Unless I was already traumatized when I was a little girl.
I mean, this is like I don't know, man. I sleep with fucking the TV on. Does that mean I'm traumatized? I don't think so. Maybe. Does it? Let's do a poll. Have you guys sleep with the fucking TV on?
Also, Xavier and I have been doing like a Bible study. We started at the beginning of the Bible, and I'm reading like a half a page or a page every day. And so there are so many questions. He has like a little bit of a better understanding, but so many questions. Did you guys see that question about Abram and Sarai? They later changed him to Abraham and his wife to Sarah. And my lip is split open right down the middle. Every time I smile or make any expression, it starts bleeding again a little bit. And I have no idea how it even. I went to sleep one night and it was fine. And I woke up and that's how it was.
And this happens just every other day or so? Because this happened like just 2 days. Like, there's no way we're still on the same day, right? So, like, come on.
So yesterday I posted some breast milk bags on Amazon and they are kind of expensive. I found some cheaper ones at Target. So sponsors, thank you so much. We're still here in this beautiful space. We're very grateful. And if you guys have been following along since my other personal blog, Xavier and I had a baby five weeks ago. I had a baby 5 weeks ago. And Xavier is the father of that baby. If you don't know his role in my life, now you know.
Was anybody questioning that? That's what everybody knew that. I didn't even know that was being called into question. Okay.
And I am the mother of 3 other children besides baby Weston, and that's Vivi, Lewis, and Alexis. And we are getting placed in a family shelter as soon as we complete everything that needs to be done in the process. So stick along for the ride and thank you for being here. So since COVID, it's been incredibly difficult for me to find employment. I've had several jobs that have just been not the right fit for me. Bartending, LA Fitness Export. And as I said, they've just not been, the right fit for me. There's been some sort of reason why they could not turn into long-term opportunities, and the reasons never match up. So rather than playing the game of trying to figure out,
I don't know. I'm starting to question if there is even a family shelter. She doesn't have the kid. Like, she's not going to get a placement in a family shelter. I think she means just like Project 8. Is it Project 8? Housing 8? Something housing? Something 8 housing. But I think she's just saying this so when they like get told to leave this place, she's going to be like, sponsors, you gave me a hotel because they were supposed to put me in family housing, but like you lost the kid. Like, I'm trying to remember when the first court thing was. It must have been at least 3 weeks ago. Like, it's been going on 3 weeks now.
Who, what, why, when, and where. I just continue to post my resume, knowing that the right opportunity will find me or I will find it. We will synchronize at some point. So I'm posting my resume again. Forgive me for still being in bed at 9 a.m. I'm still getting up 3, sometimes 4 times after my initial time of going to sleep to pump and just, getting used. Yeah, so I'm still trying to recover from the year that we were left outside in a tent to die, basically. I was pregnant that entire time. I was physically attacked at 14 weeks pregnant. I had to literally curl my body in a ball over my
Section 8. Thank you. It's Section 8.
My uterus to protect my unborn child from being harmed. A grown man was stomping on my head at 3:30 in the morning while I was asleep.
For no reason. That just happens to women sleeping outside for no reason. They just get their heads stomped on.
In a tent. There was no provocation. There
Xavier was just watching it happen.
was no argument. It was a stranger. And there were several other things. I'm writing about all of the things I've experienced in my novel. But none of these things are acceptable ways to treat, a human being, even an animal. Period. There is no more to say about it. So I'm still catching up on sleep, besides the fact that I just gave birth. And I was very active my entire pregnancy up till 28 weeks when I began having contractions. So my professional background is in health.
Serenity now. George Costanza, thank you for the super sticker, the $10 super sticker. I appreciate you.
Here, I also started my own company, which is a production company. I work it alone. I have never once hired another person to model or curate or direct. Xavier works with me.
I work alone, except Xavier works with me.
And I had a previous assistant who worked on a commission basis
And one other guy.
in 2017, 2018. But if you hear of anyone writing for the show or for the production, it's not to do with me. My company is called GoPro Solo.
I mean, the bludgeoning is the only thing that actually has like some relative truth to it, like that works in others' favor. It's weird that she would just kind of delete that part of the story. I guess it was too based in reality for the rest of it.
And the account here on Instagram is called a GoPro Solo Production. And that's where I create statement modeling campaigns about different subjects that I think are worthwhile to discuss further, and humane treatment of each other, compassionate treatment of each other, and just different things to better describe the world that I think we all want to live in. Ooh. And here is my resume. So if you have any questions, please.
So this is how she applies for jobs, right? Here is my resume, world. Okay, this is what I can do. Reach out to me, because it's not just like me and a whole bunch of other people who just want to see a train wreck fucking watching. It's employers. This is how employers find their employees on social media. It's particularly Instagram on homeless people's accounts.
Please let me know. But I'm going to post my resume on the next post.
And when I am an employer looking on Instagram for homeless people to hire, I choose the ones that just like, as soon as they're open their eyes, they're in bed, they fucking turn the camera on. I'm like, here's my resume, guys.
I have a tremendous reputation in the healthcare community. Everyone I've ever worked with has been, very happy with my work ethic. And I picked up a lot of other skills. I have a lot of college, pardon me. I have a lot of college, and I'm just exposing my evolution as a professional so that I can attract like-minded individuals who have common, goals, common values, common ethics, and want to take their business or creative endeavor in the same direction of where I'm going. So
there was an Unsolved Mysteries. I don't know when it was, but I was watching it last night. There was a whole Gillespie family that saw aliens, and it was this whole thing. And I was like, whoa, it's Heather's relatives. Maybe, but I don't think actually, but maybe.
here's my resume on the next post. So in addition to all of that I've just posted about, I also have a ton of other experience with regards to parenting. I've been a parent for 17 years. 14 of those years, all 3 of my children lived with me as a single mother. And I was effectively able to manage a career, earn income,
You seen that one too, Grayson? It was a good one, but it kept tripping me out because it was like John Gillespie went outside and saw the alien, and then like I don't know, there was some other. Oh wait, no, wait. It wasn't aliens. It was there was this crazy man who was sending people letters and was like, I know what you did, and if you don't fucking admit it, I'm gonna expose you. But there wasn't anything to expose, or maybe there was like an affair. It was like some whole town thing. But if you look that up, there was like Gillespies involved with that.
Be a good mother to 3 children, buy groceries, clean our house. And I'm coming from a place of complete poverty. So this is unique for a lot of people. Anyone with money can hire someone to juggle those, things without having a good amount of money. You have to be very creative. So I was able to do so in a very successful way that I'm very proud of. I have 3 beautiful children, and I cannot wait to see, what they have in store for life, and what life has in store for them. The areas that I'm looking for employment in are definitely first and foremost remote medical billing and coding.
What are his and hers apartments? They only had to pay $26 and $24 a month for his and her apartments. on the beltway collapsing into the river. I mean, I don't care if it's collapsed in the river. I'd pay that. It's pretty decent.
Any sort of remote customer service. I want to be home with my newborn baby. He's 5 weeks old only. So I want to be home with him. And I have a 10-year-old little girl. You know, I really don't know what the games are behind all of the events that have gone on for the last 4 years since 2020. But I do believe in God, and I do believe that God is going to come through and, you know, shine light on the truth. In the words of Kevin Gates, I am who I am and who I'm not.
What the fuck is Kevin Gates? Is that like Bill Gates' brother? I don't know no Kevin Gates.
I'll never be. Regarding any of my belief systems, I like to put it out there, you know, and put it in my bio so that no one can attack me. There's been a lot of really nefarious crap going on in the world of social media influencers and celebrity, if you take it a step above that.
Who is Kevin Gates, Angela?
And it's really nefarious and nasty. And I'm really glad that you guys have stuck around to hear what I'm talking about and you know, to raise awareness for this. But they basically find a way that you differ in opinion from someone else and make it their job to attack you over it. And it can be an online attack. It can be an in-person attack. It can be a verbal attack. It can be a physical assault. It is truly disgusting.
Kevin Gates is a rapper, like Tom Hanks' son. Tom Hanks' son, the rapper that no one fucking likes.
And that's what encouraged me to build the What is Your Impact campaign, which is a campaign that's built around compassion and integrity. So if we're asking about the basic functions of life, of political life, of daily life, and of morals, values, and ethics, I think of sexuality.
Yeah, Chet Hanks. That's Tom Hanks' son. But there's a fucking that other guy, Kevin Gates, who I'm just gonna say is Bill Gates' son for the fun of it.
Racism, humanity, and socioeconomic justice. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you my opinions on all four of them, whether you want them or not.
Okay, is she gonna get spicy? I've been kind of like tuning her out. I should pay attention, guys. Hold on, I'll be a good YouTuber.
If you don't want them, just stop scrolling, stop clicking, stop on. So first and foremost,
on relationships, okay, Xavier, I hope you're listening.
I value traditional gender roles for me and my life. What does that mean? It means I want to be with a man and I want him to allow me to be a woman. I want to look to him when I feel scared. I want to feel comforted by him. I want him to be the, top of our family and me to be right next to him and for us to assume traditional gender roles. Now, obviously, this is not 1920, where women cannot vote. And I'm not even addressing that because it's not the world we live in. I'm not a hardcore.
Well, I was expecting you to address it, Heather. Come on. I was waiting for Heather's hot take on why women couldn't vote a bazillion years ago.
We're feminist, but I do believe that. So on the next subject, I don't believe in like trans as being another gender. I just don't believe in it. I believe in respecting their wishes if they want to be called another gender. But at the end of the day, you don't have a uterus and you're not a woman.
What's the point of this, though? Is Heather just looking for smoke today? What are you accomplishing by doing this? I guess, like, just in case someone maybe was thinking about offering her a job, she's like, I'll just post some fucking anti-trans shit. That'll make sure no one gets me hired. It's like, what the fuck is this?
You don't have a penis and you're not a man. So if you ask me nicely to refer to you as whatever you want to be referred to, I will. Because why wouldn't I be respectful of another human being? But I'm not delusional, and I understand that what makes a man and a woman, a male, and a female are reproductive sex organs. So I'm fully aware of that, and I won't pretend like I'm not. but I will be respectful of whatever, your wishes are.
I mean, you're not a doctor, right, Heather? I mean, I know you like to pretend to be like, yeah, your medical degrees or whatever, but you're not like helping anyone medically, right? Where this would matter at all. Do you know who you are? As long as you know who you are, like, why do you give a shit? Is Xavier being trans again? Is Xavier being a lesbian? Is that why you're upset? That's my only guess. I don't even like. Why else would she be going off about this?
As I'd like you to call me a woman because I'm a woman and a mom, Okay, so take 3. Not because I did not eloquently state my point, but because they continue to freeze it. So I was discussing another point. This goes into my values of social justice and just issues that I don't think should be gaslit for our children and each other and the internet. And Turning Point USA, specifically, I think it was Charlie who made this point that the majority of
Turning Point fucking USA. I gotta watch Turning Point USA, guys. I never thought she was talking about them last week too. I was figured maybe she'd move on from it. Maybe she'd move on from life. I mean, Turning Point USA. But no.
murders are committed by Black people statistically. And someone said, well, that's because the majority of impoverished neighborhoods and areas are, Black people. And what I say is it's more than that. It's also not only are they poverty areas, but they're also areas that don't receive a police response. So when you have violent crimes that are happening, you have to protect yourself in some way, right?
You don't like the police, Heather. You said they're corrupt and Dan Aykroyd in the 80s, and they all have that mindset, and it's bad. Even though, like, if I wanted to deal with any cop, I'd say I'd take Dan Aykroyd over, like, fucking the Terminator. I forgot to see if my mic's working tonight, guys. It better be. And if it's not, I don't know why I'm thinking about this now, but.
And then, yes, they are, the majority taking place in poverty-stricken areas. And that is because of slavery, period. And then you also have to ask yourself, if you were sexually assaulted or brutally attacked and you called law enforcement to come help you and they didn't show up, or they showed up several hours later, and we're not blaming, we're not saying law enforcement is the devil. No, we're not saying that at all. What we're saying is, of God, we understand. Of God means of understanding. Of God means of knowing. If we are of God and we are claiming to be godly.
What does that do to the police? It shouldn't matter. I shouldn't matter if you believe in God or not. You have the right to, if you pay taxes, you have the right to the police protecting you and the access to their resources.
Children, followers, and believers of God, we have to also, put that into action. And in doing so, you have to be able to look through the perspective of other people, even if it's not your life. We don't all have to take on the form of others to be able to understand. It just takes a tiny bit of effort. If you're in a neighborhood and you get raped and you call the police and they don't show up and you have a gun, are you shooting? Religiously, I don't really have a one-size-fits-all answer for that. I go to different churches. I was baptized and raised.
I wonder who assigned Heather these issues to take on this day. She just woke up and assigned them to herself.
Raised Lutheran. I don't like the lighting over there. I look so red. I was baptized and raised Lutheran. I go to St. James Church, which is, I believe, Episcopalian. I go to Fourth Presbyterian sometimes. I go to Catholic Church sometimes. And I also believe in a lot of the teachings in the Quran. So
yeah, I forgot the day she solved poverty before breakfast. That was pretty impressive, I gotta say.
I don't have one religious answer or viewpoint for you. I believe in God, and I believe in reeling in the behaviors of ourselves and society to what they were originally intended when the Bible was written, and sticking as close to that as far as values, morals, and ethics go as we can. Regarding immigration and immigration reform and refugees and federal funding for refugees, my only opinion is if we can build a wall Why can't we add 3 other walls and a roof and offer housing at the border? Whatever political constituency and, paperwork needs to be done, why can't it be done while also, providing for some sort of safe space right there at the point of entry?
Yeah.
People don't flee their country and sleep in terminals of airports because they feel safe and secure, right? So there's a huge crisis going on if there are people literally living in those capacities that needs to be addressed. And that has nothing to do with what country of origin you or your family come from. And back to relationships, I value.
Back to relationships, this is just like her hot takes on everything, whether we want to hear it or not. I mean, it's just a whole bunch of whoopsies. It's a whole bunch of Heather nonsense. I mean, like, I'm not even surprised she's saying all this. I'm sure she said it before. Like, she needs a new shtick. She needs to get out of this hotel. I don't know. Is she gonna get a job? Do you guys think? I'll do a poll. Let's see. Do you think she'll actually get a job?
Me, and I would never be in a non-monogamous relationship ever. I mean, unless I didn't know that the person was not being monogamous. And that's basically just because I don't like to play games with one person, let alone multiple. And there is no such thing as a perfect relationship. Every relationship is going to have drama and stress. And it's just a matter of, putting forth effort with the person who you partner with to work through those dramas and stressors. But I have 4 children who come with their own drama and stress, and I have drama and stress. So why would I want to say, oh yeah, I'll be in a relationship with 2 more people who have drama and stress, or 3 more people? Absolutely not. One person and their drama and stress is all I have room for. For parenting style, I believe in being honest with my kids and delivering them truth.
I don't even know why she's saying she's pantless. She's like, I have 4 pairs of track pants and then another pair of leggings. She's got 5 pairs of pants. That's more than like most homeless people. James had shorts and pants, and he threw out the pants one day. But like, and then 4 pairs of shoes. But she needs money for pants and shoes. But pantless, yeah.
Truth that's catered to their age and level of understanding. And specifically what that means is I wouldn't tell my 10-year-old the exact same version that I would tell my 17-year-old or even my 16-year-old. And your children best. You know what they understand and what they don't understand. And that in itself makes all the difference in how you deliver information to them. And the effect on their happiness. And when I discuss happiness, I'm not talking about fun. I'm talking about overall, over a course of years, is the child happy? And when you think about how to deliver information to your child, you have to weigh in the effect that information will have on their overall happiness and ability to regulate. So, just play it by ear, and your child best.
I'm proud to be partnering with my very good friend, Lee Greenwood.
Who? I don't know who that is. I don't know anything about America.
Who doesn't love his song, God Bless the USA, in connection with promoting the God Bless the USA Bible. This Bible is the King James Version and also includes.
My most important and undervalued value, I think, that's going on in America today is, and this is outlined in my What's Your Impact campaign, bullying and kindness. And this applies to all ages, from kindergarten, toddlers, all the way to adults. If we don't find a way to get adults on board with stopping in their tracks and asking themselves, what is my impact if I engage in this behavior? What are the residual effects on the people around me? How can we expect their children to do so, or their children's children to do so? Just not being a jerk. If you're watching TV, and this can apply to in-person social.
What? If you're watching TV, what? What, Heather? We're gonna use some example. I miss Daisy. I checked out Daisy last night. I don't know, man. Heather's gotta step. I was excited this week for Heather because she had so much stuff for us, but it's just, you know what I'm saying?
Media or whatever. If you're watching
watching TV and you're going through channels, you're not going to stop and watch something you don't like, right? So why would you stop on someone's social media and talk down to them or degrade them? That's terrible, you know.
And families should always stay together. If you have someone who you're, you know, dealing with, who you don't think is capable of being a parent, you should be using the money to rehabilitate that person and that family.
Oh yeah? And what do you use your money for, Heather? Xavier's got a drug problem, doesn't he?
Not to pay a stranger in the foster care system to temporarily take care of the child. Rehabilitate families together. Rehabilitate them together. It's not a matter of money. It's a matter of morality.
It's a matter of keeping the kids safe. And you shouldn't have got to that place to begin with. Now your kid's taken, and that's your incentive to get better. This is the world, Heather. Your precious Bible, you know, like laws were based off of fucking Bible shit. So, like, if you don't like the law, like, you shouldn't like the Bible. You shouldn't like any kind of fucking authority, higher fucking figure. But, you know, nothing. She does make sense. Just own your shit and do the things that you need to get your kids back. Don't just sit in the fucking hotel room, tough and duster all day, going on about nonsense like this that is not going to help your character in court, by the way. Like, I don't think the judge is going to see all of these postings, which I'm sure that somebody's sending them over to them. Like, it's not like you're a very innocuous person, clandestine person. So I don't know, man. She's her own worst enemy. And I wanted to see her kind of get better, but like, I think this is just a setup for harder times ahead, unfortunately.
I don't have anything to say about same-sex marriage. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And I think where we're at right now is where we should be. It is what it is. People love who they love, you know, and that's it. However, there are a lot of subliminal issues that go along with same-sex marriages in the foster care system. And this is why I'm saying families need to stay together. There have been numerous very corrupt, coercive manipulations that have taken place that have literally stolen babies and children for the purpose of placing them for profit. Placing a child for profit is the most disgusting and destructive thing that someone could do. So if that were going to be,
I mean, it takes resources to look after a kid. No, I would be. I don't know, Heather.
The case of a same-sex couple raising a child, it should only be in a predetermined surrogacy, and that is, you know, completely outside of the system. It's not systemic. It's not of the system. It's not criminally, you know, monitored. It's not DCFS monitored. It has absolutely nothing to do with those agencies, and it would be like a formal contract with a lawyer, and sometimes the exchange of money. That would be the only, you know, in my opinion, ethical way, because the incentive that I personally have witnessed to cause damage to someone in an effort to have access to their child is very relevant to the subject matter as it's discussed. But at the end of the day, it's always been my opinion that the queer community is just like any one of the rest of us. There are successful people who are lesbians or who are gay. There are people who are kind, compassionate, caring, and abide by, you know, laws, morals, and ethics.
Why does this need to be said, though? Like, I miss her just ranting. Just, you know, the crazy regular rants. Dan Aykroyd, crazy rants, you know.
Of every sexual orientation. And that's really, I feel we've come so far from it that it's not even an issue. It's like interracial dating. Does anyone even care anymore? Like, is that still a thing? Like, is that something that people...
Why are we bringing it up? Why are your eyes so crazy? What's going on, Heather?
I don't know. Maybe I'm privileged to live in an environment where I have been around gay people and interracial couples and all these sorts of controversial things that they don't even seem controversial to me. The majority of my life, I've been around.
Because they're not non-controversial. How old's Heather? She's like, what, a couple years older than me? Like, we grew up pretty, like, I don't know. People called each other gay as, like, not, I guess in a derogatory way, but it's not like people who were actually gay were treated any less, at least, like, where I grew up. I don't know, man. I think she's just trying to sound like, I'm a good person, guys, all right? I don't hate gay people. I just said that my friend at the job had that haircut that she didn't like, and I got fired for it.
Around these sorts of things. So what rock is there? What little town is there that still doesn't accept those things? I really don't know, but I don't even think it's a thing anymore, is it? Now, another one that I recently formed was with regards to homelessness and poverty. There should not be any of this, period. We are in 2024 in an evolved American society.
Heather, you were okay until you met Dylan, until you threw it all away for Dylan's dick. People can make bad choices, and the government isn't there to like hold your hand to make sure you don't make those bad choices. You know what I mean? So like it comes with the term. It comes with being free. It comes with being free. You're allowed to waste all your money going to incredible debt and just go live in a tent if that's what you choose to fucking do. No one's gonna force you to stay inside or like have financial control over your assets. That I'm sure you would be bitching if that were the case. So like I don't know. Figure out your own shit. It's annoying to hear Heather just bitch about her own problems and like it's her own shit to fix. It's not any of our shit. It's not like any of the other person's problems that she's saying it is. So it's annoying. Like it's gotten increasingly more annoying over the months, to the point where I might just start editing this shit out. Like I don't even want to hear it anymore. Like I'm at that point, guys.
There is no reason for this. I mean, we have so
I'd rather listen to Daisy bitch about this shit.
Much space in this world that we've built, in this country that we've built, in this city of Chicago that we've built, to see even one person living outside other than because they choose to live outside is unacceptable, in my opinion. Every single person should have access to a living space, whether they can afford to pay for one or not. The same with food. And that doesn't have to come at the expense of middle income taxpayers' dollars. There is enough to go around. We live in a world of abundance, not in a world of lack. Abundance.
Kind of, but not really. I mean, like, it's not really about like there being abundance of things. It's about like transportation. Like, there's a lot of resources in one place, but how do we get it from this place to this place? And who's gonna fucking pay for that shit? Especially if it's like in a third world country, they can't afford anything. Fix it, Heather. Tell me your solution to that.
I need a tan. I really feel like that Muse filter is just giving glow. And my regular face is giving, let's go to Florida.
Florida? Heather, I would love to see you in any other state but Chicago, to be honest. Like, let's go to Florida.
Or Bahamas, LA. Any warm weather climate for like a week or two. LA tan, Palm Beach tan.
Look at this, you guys. So I guess people were complaining that there were migrants in the field houses at the Park District.
You were complaining about there being immigrants in like anywhere, to be honest. You're like, why do the immigrants get places and I don't?
So they're moving them to shelters. At least they're getting shelters.
Spicy honey.
It's Holy Week in Chicago and everywhere.
Okay, so I've had
What was all that? There's a bunch of popes or priests or what the fuck was that about?
several.
I'm good in sales and event planning and execution, and I also know I could be really creative in these roles. I could have Weston with me for all the clerical remote work. I would only need a computer for 85% of the work. Heather, you're not taking very good care of yourself. And you have like all the resources to do so right now. I don't trust you with a kid. I'm glad she doesn't have the kid, to be honest.
Interviews today and last week, but all of the opportunities are for sales with an initial investment required. So we'll see what I choose. I really, really like 2 or 3 of the opportunities so far. I feel like I could realistically see myself being successful in those roles. But one of them is for alcohol, which we are not allowed to have here. And I would need to store it and then like do events and tastings and things, samplings and things. And the other one is for travel. So they both require an initial investment. And like I said, I know that I could be successful in them. It's just going to take some creative problem solving.
Good morning, you guys. We are off and on our way in urgent need of sponsors for, as I said before, wardrobe. We have absolutely no clothing. Xavier has 2 t-shirts besides the one he's wearing, and I have about the same. So we are in urgent need of sponsors. I would like to
Always the sponsor's responsibility to get them shit. Right now, we need the sponsors. Yes, help us.
if at all possible, get our own space so that we don't have to rely on family shelter. But, you know, it is what it is. So we've been outside, to recap, for a full year. I have been dealing with this situation since 2020.
What's that song? Get a haircut and get a real job. I guess we should read what she's saying. We have housing through the shelter system, but we need to move to a family shelter. Then Westy comes home and we don't have a house or apartment at that time. Also, I'm in need of shoes and pants and shirts and cash. And if you would like to donate, please do so. Buy this crap. Don't donate. And that's some angry person. That was the other thing. There's some crazy Daisy supporters. Someone's unexpected.
My big kids had to go stay with their fathers because my home was attempted to be home invaded, and that was reported to the police and everything. It's on record. So if you guys can help us restabilize, please visit the bio section. My resume is posted there, and I am looking urgently for remote work.
Just a reminder, I gave birth February 19th. Give me a break. Give me a break. For all the mothers, what are 10 advantages breastfeeding? So this is why it promotes post-pregnancy weight loss quickly. Breastfeeding helps the uterus contract. Breastfeeding may stop periods. Decreases breast cancer risk. Saves time and money. Reduces depression and postpartum risk. Breastfeeding promotes stronger bone development. All right, well, it'd be great if you had a baby to breastfeed, right? I don't know. Does that mean baby?
Without makeup on with the Muse app, I'm always like, oh my God. But with makeup on with the Muse app, it's like, hello.
That's the Muse energy thing that she was going on about in court. I don't get it. I guess I gotta try the filter.
Hello. Also, I really want to tell you guys what's been going on. There's so much that I have to catch you up on, but I'm not permitted to do so until the order of silence is lifted. So I cannot wait. I'm very, very eager to share my story, but I'm so sad right now, and I can't like get into it. And you guys are my biggest support system. So thank you guys so much. And I really appreciate you. Even if you think you like don't make a difference, you do. And
we make a difference, guys. We should feel happy. We should be proud of ourselves.
And someday soon I'll be able to tell you.
Someday
For
soon.
the update, I'm still.
Where are my sponsors, guys? So this was yesterday, so we're almost getting to the end. Almost getting to the end. We actually did this in pretty good timing. I thought this was going to be like 3 hours, but I don't really have a lot to say about fucking the same shit Heather says every other day. I thought there's not really many more developments. She's going to need to get out of this hotel and actually be met with some more adversity, I think, before we get any good stuff.
Wearing the same shoes with holes and uneven soles as I was a year and a half ago. Just had a baby, so don't really fit my clothing. And I'm doing my best to make the best of a situation that continuously gets progressively more complicated each day. I'm also not being permitted to discuss certain aspects of the situation by court order. So this is an exact repeat of what went on 4 years ago that I want.
An exact repeat, huh? Because like this time, at least what I've witnessed, like the kid was taken from you rightfully so. I don't know about the other times that your kids were taken. It's not from her story. It sounded like it was a lot different, not the exact same fucking thing.
Want nothing to do with, and I would like it to stop immediately. With regards to housing, we are in a homeless shelter, and I'm very grateful for that. We've been there since the birth of Weston, and I receive $450 a month from TANF, but they've put that on hold because there's a 5-year limit. Everything that I had went to buy, clothes and stroller and car seat for my.
But now I have no pants, so I don't know where the fuck the clothes went. Well, I guess the clothes for the kid maybe, but that was a waste of money.
Son, and then the big kids, I just send groceries and visit them as I can. I'm still sending out 50 to 300 resumes every single month, and you can find that information posted in the bio section. So click on the bio section where it says my name and like the bio. Underneath there are little circles called highlights. One of them is called bio. So you can click on that and find my resume. If anyone has any employment opportunities, please let me know. And if you'd like to donate, let me know. And we slept through breakfast today, but the good news is that I can get some exercise. I want it.
I don't think she bought a lot of things. Like pretty much her sponsors bought everything. And when she says she bought something, she means she got her sponsors to buy it for her. I don't know where the fuck all this other money went. It was crazy to think that she was even getting that kind of money. Probably on drugs. And Xavier gets money from his parents too. Like these are the richest homeless people I've ever fucking seen.
To use one day to just rest in bed all day, to have no mental exertion, no physical exertion. I'm 5 weeks post.
Yeah, cuts off after 5 years. So like, what were you doing with that money? What were you doing with that money, Heather?
Postpartum. I have had very, very few of those days over the last 10 years. So my plan was to just be relaxing. God had other plans. So now we're taking a walk. We're going to go look and see if we can find some gym shoes that are like $30 or $40 at Ross. And Xavier is being so kind as to buy me a big breakfast, his wife, who just had a baby. So
it was forever ago. That was over a month ago. Wait, yeah, no, it was over a month ago. What the fuck are you talking about? Just had a baby.
What the plan is from here is that because we're in a couples shelter, we wait until everything is done working out with Weston, and then we move to a family shelter, me, Xavier, and Weston. I'm requesting that it's somewhere on the north side so that we still have access to my big kids by one bus or train, and so that I can bring them groceries and go take them to the park and they can have a relationship with their little brother.
I think Heather just tries to manifest things in her head and expects them to happen. Like a sponsor just going to show up with an apartment when I'm in the hospital. I don't think they've told her that they're going to give her any housing. They wouldn't be keeping the fucking kid if they did, right? Maybe I'm wrong, but I highly doubt. I just highly doubt it.
It's 5 weeks old, and I'm 5 weeks postpartum. This is the Heather Show. Anyways, my main issue is that I have my phone bill, my shoes,
The entire wardrobe is down to 4 pairs of leggings. Most of them have holes in them. And Easter is on Sunday. So I always do an Easter egg hunt for my children. If you've been
How? The tent? How do you do an Easter egg hunt for him?
following since the beginning, you know for a fact that this situation was not caused by me. So I wouldn't be asking if it was. If anyone would like to donate, please do so via Cash App or send me an e-gift card for Target or Amazon. Thank you so much. And my Cash App account is posted right here. And with regards to accountability, I'm talking about the fact that I was 4 years ago in my own home with an income. I was selling renewable energy with One Energy Solutions for RPA and Inspire. I was making a decent weekly wage. My children lived with me. And then I was hurdled into this.
You were hurdled or you ran face first into fire because you're a fucking idiot? Like, who hurdled you?
Black hole of sorts that I can't see a doorway out of yet. And every single time I talk to anyone about it, it's like they understand what I'm talking about and tell me that resolution is on its way. And then there's like a whole other set of brand new people who are like, well, what's going on here? Like, where are all the people who were here since day one so that I don't have to keep explaining this? Are you?
They don't agree with you, and you, I guess, block them. You know, like, Heather Gillespie. What's? I shouldn't be like that.
You guys still alive? Everyone okay? And on top of that, we have court tomorrow and no money for a bus pass. And I need a bus pass so I could go to my baby Alexis and drop her off an Easter basket. The big kids, I'm fine just sending them some candy from Amazon and $10 through Cash App for lunch. But the baby, like I said before, she deserves a curated Easter egg hunt. And so I would like to make her an Easter basket as I've done every other year of my children's lives and bring that to them. In order to do so, I need a bus pass.
And for my next trick, I'll be creating an outfit for court tomorrow.
I don't think I've ever heard her British accent. I've heard Southern, I've heard Latina. I don't remember a British one.
Out of $32 and a maternity dress.
Where are you going to model it?
Okay, so now as I prepare for my afternoon pump, I have to come on and be like, okay, so I'm asking my sponsors to send me money for shoes and a bus pass. And I'm freaking out over Easter and getting my kids their Easter baskets. And I'm freaking out because I had nothing to wear in court, but now I have my outfit for court planned out. I have a safe place, to sleep. And I think that the transition from being thrown outdoors for such an extended period of time and doing without for so long is the constant reminder that now you're okay, you're okay, you're okay. And
You're not okay. This is temporary. You should be really saving and planning for the future, is my suggestion. She's not gonna.
And that doesn't interrupt with, daily life. It just makes the people around you have to either get out of the way so that you can go through your process yourself of remembering that you're okay, or the people around you need to be supportive. If they can't be supportive, they have to just leave, because this is something everyone. Okay, so now as I prepare for my afternoon, I have to come on and be like, okay, so now as I prepare for my afternoon pump, I have to come on and be like, okay, so I'm asking my sponsors.
Wait, we just seen that. Okay, that was me messing up. Hold on. Let me skip ahead a bit. Where are we? 21-ish.
Remembering that you're okay, or the people around you need to be supportive. If they can't be supportive, they have to just leave, because this is something everyone. So as I get back into the space and prepare for my afternoon pump, this is take 4 or 5 of this. I have to remind myself as I'm freaking out for my court outfit tomorrow and bus pass money to get my kids their Easter baskets. We just spent, a year plus in a tent. I have not been able to earn my own money, and there have been several other abuses. I'm in a safe place now. And part of trauma healing and recovery
You did post this. Did she think she didn't post it? Why are you just reiterating all the same shit and the same thing? What the fuck, Heather?
Is the constant reminder to self that you're in a safe place now, you know, and that reminder to yourself comes along hand in hand with your support system. And if you don't have a support system, it's increasingly difficult to readjust. So everything is okay. We'll figure out the Easter baskets. We'll figure out everything like we always do. Deep breath. Also, you guys, I forgot to mention 2 more people were placed in their apartments, which is the best news ever. Every time I hear someone saying that, I get so happy because I know how it feels to not have a place. And because that means, you know, we're that much closer. So keep on praying for everyone in this situation because there are solutions. And I mean, what more could we ask for? It's such a blessing.
I wonder if Heather will actually help other homeless people like get off of the streets. If she actually gets off the streets, if she'll pay it forward, or if she'll just like kind of, you know, keep these secrets to herself.
And so here are the other accounts that I've all grown by myself and that were all either removed, hacked, or taken offline. And this is just since 2020. So I had a primary account prior to that. And that is also gone. And here they are. As I have always said, if you reaching your goals put someone and their children and family in a space to suffer inhumanely, especially, it should definitely go without saying that you should swerve, you know? I really want everyone to be working on the impact campaign. And like I said before, rather than pointing the finger at others, to take accountability that belongs to them, asking the question, what is your impact? Yourself and the people around you. How have your actions and behaviors impacted everyone, not just the people who you see, you know? And I think that's the way to get people to take accountability for their own behaviors. Hey guys, if my sponsors are here and they do not know, my regular personal blog has not been moved. It was taken down.
Teresa Carr, how you doing? How you doing, hon? I seen you write big paragraphs on the Daisy stream. I don't know what you're trying to say. Something loopy.
Again, this is the 3rd or 4th one that's been taken down at 15.2 thousand. The other one 30,000 or 50,000 or 17,000 or 8,000. Those are all my different blogs that have been either hacked, frozen, or taken down. So sponsors, if you're here, I need money for bus passes.
Xavier's not a very good breadwinner, though. You know, he's just a drug addict. Like, I don't know why she's with him. I mean, Heather's a drug addict too, but like this guy, he's not a very reliable man. I wouldn't call him a breadwinner.
For the week, I need money for the phone bill. I need money for the wardrobe. Everything has kind of been at a standstill. And there's another personal blog up, and I'll tag it right here. It's HG1 Heather G. And I'm going to be changing it to my same vanity name that I had as soon as the 14-day period is lifted, so that I
stuck in the place that you moved. That's the loop. That's the loop around. I don't know what you're talking about, Teresa. I'm talking about Heather and Xavier, who are on the screen. These people in front of me. But no, that's it. That was all she gave us this week. All she gave us, an hour and 25 minutes that we got through. Oh yeah, we got through in 2 hours. That's fancy, guys. That's fancy. I'm trying to keep everything at 2 hours or under. So we did it. We made it. I don't have anything. I don't think I have anything else for you guys on Heather this week. I'll do a monthly recap. If that does better than the weekly I don't even think there's a point of a weekly recap. If like this is like basically the weekly recaps. So I'm going to switch it to a monthly recap for an edited video. And what are my plans? What are our plans? People were asking me to cover some I can't remember it. Caddy, I can't remember their name. Kashi Grant or something. I don't know. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna pull it up now. So I might them. I got some Natalia Grace stuff. Wait, I'll go to the actual things. Oh, P. Diddy. People, I don't even know what there is to say about P. Diddy. Maybe we'll do some P. Diddy stuff this weekend. James Soroka pleaded guilty to violating their restraining order. I mean, obviously. Kashi Star. That's the person that people are asking. And then we also, I don't know, maybe we'll fuck with Maddie R this weekend too. But that's the plans. We'll do members only stream tomorrow as well. And yeah, I don't know. Happy Friday, happy Easter, and I will see you guys all whenever I see you next. I hope you guys are all doing fantastic. Have a great night, guys. Bye.